What's really remarkable, I think, about our heritage as Americans is the amount of global power we have enjoyed, especially since World War II. I think it's hard to really grasp just what that actually means for us to have a passport that really can enjoy access to almost every country in the world, let alone a global currency that controls the way that value works in our world. Um, we have the largest economy. We have crafted and shaped many things in our world, from trade to global organizations. And I think in some ways, within these last few years, maybe in part or in whole, some of these advantages have been tested or threatened by other global powers. And my goal is not at all to go into these specific issues here, but to point out that striving for more and more power, whether in our world, in our country, in our community, in our personal lives, are really, what I think is really important for us, even in church, or like as a church in relation to our culture, striving for power, it's actually at odds. This mindset of striving for power is at odds with the kingdom of God. Us striving for power sets us actually up against God's kingdom. You see this, again, so much throughout the Gospels, but especially in the Sermon on the Mount. And I'll highlight, the Sermon on the Mount, which highlights the right kind of position to take in relation to power. Because as Jesus opens the Sermon on the Mount, he says, "Blessed are the poor." He says that the gentle are blessed, those who hunger for justice or righteousness. Those who are merciful are blessed, the pure are blessed, the peacemakers are blessed, the persecuted are blessed. Those who are typically classified as weak or lowly are considered blessed in this kingdom of God, in this upside down kingdom of God. What does blessing look like for these people? Well, it says in these same verses, theirs is the kingdom of God. Also says that they are comforted, they inherit the earth, they're satisfied, they receive mercy, they see God, they are called children of God. And again in verse 10 of this passage, it says that theirs is the kingdom of God. It says that twice actually in this passage. Lowliness grants kingdom access. In this upside down kingdom of God, the lowly are elevated, the humble are lifted up, while those who are proud and powerful are brought to lowliness. And this theme permeates the Gospels in a way that time would absolutely not allow me to go into it fully, but this is ultimately the pattern of Jesus. And you see this in him, the one who is all powerful, where everything of deity and godhood are innate in, where he laid aside all the vestiges of prestige and power, and he became like you and like me. He became a man, even to the point of death on a cross, bearing our sin, bearing our shame. And because of this, he was exalted to the highest place. In the kingdom of God, humility or lowliness is the beginning point. And that's the primary requirement for citizenship into the kingdom of God, because it allows us to see Jesus for who he is. Power is seen as a massive problem. It conflicts with following Jesus. It conflicts with kingdom access. What would it look like for you to be poor, to be gentle, to be hungry for justice, merciful and a peacemaker, in contrast to living a life that pursues self-protection and power? Matthew 28 says that power and authority, all power and authority, that it does exist in the kingdom of God. And that is, it exists in the person of Jesus. In the next video, we'll get to see what Jesus would actually do with that power. As always, feel free to comment, email me, or connect with me if you have thoughts or any questions. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.